What is up, everyone? I'm Igor. Welcome to my workshop. First of all, I'd like to thank you all guys for your fantastic engagement and tons of feedback on my last 3 videos. So this was a very pleasant surprise for me, so thank you so very much. I felt like I needed to make this video to keep you guys updated on my progress with Artillery Sidewinder X1 tuning. It's probably not the kind of a video you were hoping for, because I currently feel somewhat confused. Please stay until the end and tell me if I'm right or not. Let's get started, shall we? First of all, let me tell you something. I've been tinkering with this machine for almost 3 weeks now. I've started a few threads in the Artillery support group on Facebook. I have read dozens of articles. I have watched dozens of videos on troubleshooting of this printer. I think I've started becoming a little bit more obsessed with it than I should have. I've literally started seeing it in my nightmares. So I've decided it's time to stop and take a breath. And a sip of coffee. Now here's a brief recap of what I've done over the last 3 weeks. First of all, things that didn't help. I'm not saying that they're useless, they just didn't move the needle enough. Tightened and retightened each and every screw, including all grub screws, several times. Tightened and retightened the belts several times. Adjusted all rollers to a proper tension. Aligned and realigned everything, ensuring everything is true and square. Bypassed the filament runout sensor. Adjusted the Z-axis couplers so now they function properly. They were locked and not functioning correctly, and it's a well-known assembly mistake for these printers. Tried using an external spool holder. Adjusted the extruder tension, calibrated the extruder. By the way, it was way too tight from the factory. Checked and double-checked both ribbon cables and actually replaced both just in case. Tried several different firmwares. Tried changing acceleration, jerk, and linear advance parameters. Tried printing with different materials. Checked the Z-rods for straightness. By the way, they were reasonably straight. Flipped them, cleaned and lubricated them. Tried using anti-backlash nuts instead of the stock setup. Replaced the PTFE tube in the hot end with a proper Capricorn tube. I was going to do that anyway since I want to be able to print PETG. And now a few things that actually did have a positive, albeit somewhat minor, impact on the print quality. Removed the Z-belt. It doesn't make sense anyway. Removed the top bearings. It was actually an advice given by the artillery support. I was thinking about doing the same myself, because in case of these hobby-grade machines, over-constraining does not really help. Replaced the stock elastic Z-couplers with high-quality, relatively expensive Spider couplers. The link to the ones that I used is in the description. The reason for this change was the fact that I've noticed Artillery started using these type of couplers in the newer batches, at least judging from some unboxing pictures in the Facebook group. So currently the only possible defect sources that I think may still remain are the extruder itself and the electronics. Also, judging by the fact that I have those issues with PID calibration, I may have a problem with the thermistor and/or the heater. I'm going to replace the thermistor, it's on the way, and I'll let you know if anything changes. Also, one of you suggested in the comments to try adding a small dab of high-temperature thermal paste to the thermistor socket. This also sounds like a reasonable idea, so I'll give it a try. By the way, feel free to yell at me in the comments, "Hey Igor, how can you be so stupid? You've missed this and that and one more thing." That's completely possible. Now let's switch gears for a minute. Some of the actions that I've just listed are either a part of your regular 3D printer maintenance, like tightening the belts and checking everything for straightness and squareness, is that a word? Or updates that I plan to do anyway for some reasons, like replacing the PTFE tube. Others were performed out of despair, like going through, what was that, 6 different firmwares? By the way, please let me know if you would like me to make a detailed video on any of those actions. So I was really disappointed with the results I was getting, especially when compared to the pictures others were posting in the Artillery support group on Facebook. I mean, just compare this to this. But you know, then I've noticed something about my prints and my pictures in particular. Check this out. Or this. Doesn't look too bad, eh? These were printed on the same machine. The only difference is the presentation. In fact, the calibration cube is exactly the one that was in the horrible picture a minute ago. You see, in most cases, at least it seems to me that in most cases, those great-looking pictures are taken with, first of all, a very diffuse and soft lighting, not too close, and the models in them are usually printed with either dark color or some kind of glittering, shimmering material like silk PLA, for example. So one of my benches is also printed with silk PLA, and you've all seen how it looks like. And that is all for today. Thanks for staying with me until the end of this video, and now, having seen and heard all this, what's your take, people? Do you think my expectations are too high? I really felt like sharing my current situation with you and asking for your opinion because I am somewhat confused at the moment. I plan to keep tinkering with this machine a little bit more. I'm gonna add a few more mods I feel are necessary, like a gantry stabilizer. I'll also probably make a separate video on the Z-couplers replacement and the X-axis realignment, because these were probably the only things that really helped move the needle. Again, feel free to criticize me and let me know if you think I've missed something important. And I hope this video was at least somewhat helpful and you liked it. If so, then please click that like button, feel free to share it, consider subscribing to my channel, and of course, your comments are always welcome. Thanks for watching, happy tinkering, and don't forget to have fun. Bye!